Hi everyone, Carina Gardner here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to sew elastic directly onto fabric. It always looks harder than it is, but I'm going to show you how easy it is today. So we use this technique in the Meadowlark Nightgowns. You can see I have one here, and it's in the sleeves, and you can see it looks complicated, but I promise you it's super easy when I show you how to do it. And it's in a little sleeve, so it kind of seems really scary, but I promise you this is pretty easy. This is the 18-inch doll size, and of course we have the children's sizes as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So the nightgown and any pattern that you have will usually show you where to put the elastic. And so in my case, once you cut out the piece, and you can see there's my little piece, on the back side of it, what I've done is I've laid it right on top, and you can either poke a hole or you can fold it back and use your pencil to mark it where you need the elastic to go, okay? So you've marked it at the top and you've marked it at the bottom. And then you can just use your ruler, and we're just gonna ruler straight line between those two, okay? So for this one, we need a 2-inch piece of elastic and a 4-inch piece of elastic. So the 2-inch is gonna go here and the 4-inch down here. And by the way, if you are doing this pattern or the girl's pattern, you usually should hem the sleeve before you start doing this part. So mine's not hemmed. So I am using 1/8 inch elastic. It's teeny tiny, so it kind of seems scary. Don't be scared. And so what I do is I pull it from the package, and here we go. We have a long piece of elastic. Okay, so we need a 2-inch and a 4-inch. Well, 2 inches is like, what, that long? So if you cut it right here and you're trying to stretch it, it's really difficult to use. So what I do instead is I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to measure 2 inches. I'm showing you here just because it's easier. You can see there's my 2-inch mark. And I'm going to just use my pencil, and I'm going to mark it at that 2-inch mark. Okay, happy little pencil marking, okay? And instead of cutting it, I'm gonna leave it on this. And that way I can pull it and stretch it as I sew it. So I'm going to try to line up here this first little dot and my elastic. And as you can see, if I really did line it up and pin it, this at the 2 inches would end right here. So you've got to pull and stretch it so it lines up with that bottom mark. Okay, so we're gonna start sewing. So I'm going to lay it in here. I'm using a quilting foot or a 1/4-inch foot, and I'm just going to match up those different little points. And let's see if I can find my foot here. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of start like this because it's easier because I'm working in small pieces here. I'm actually going to reverse it as well just to make sure that it's really like in there tight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on this. And I'm just going to gently ease it while the fabric is going through. And you can see if I laid it right up against, if I actually pulled it and I marked this down here, then I can match up those two marks. Okay, so here we go. Sewing it through. Just pulling it as I go, and you can see the fabric underneath of it starting to pull as well. Make sure you match those up, okay, and I've hit that matching point. I'm going to reverse it to make sure it stays. With elastic, it just helps to, put an extra back stitch on it. And then I'm going to pull it off. Okay, let's just cut these little strings off here. Okay, so you can see, look how easy that sewed right on, and it made a perfect little gather. It's really, really cute. And all you have to do is then come in and snip off the edge of that elastic, and you have a perfect gather. How cute is that? So then you're going to do the exact same thing for this bottom piece, and you'll have this darling little sleeve. I'm actually going to do that with you right now so you can see it one more time. We're going to hit this at the 4-inch mark. Okay, 4 inches, and then I'm going to mark it with my pencil, make sure I see that mark, and then I'm going to lay this in, use my markings to help me, because this is the gather around the wrist, which of course you can adjust the elastic, especially if you're doing the girl sizes and you're needing to you know, adjust for your kid's wrist, then you need to adjust your elastic. But we have some general sizes that we like to use. Okay, back stitch, and now it's time to grab it and pull. So I'm grabbing it, pulling it, and then I'm gonna sew right along. And you've got to be gentle with this, like it's got to be eased in, otherwise it'll be just a mess. Got like an extra thread here hanging out. Okay, I've hit my mark, back stitching it, pulling it out, cut out my extra threads, and then I'm going to trim down my elastic. And there you go. You have the front, well, you have the bottom piece, you have the wrist elastic piece, and then, sorry, this is the wrist, and then the elbow. And you can see how it looks on the inside. So this makes up the sleeve, and eventually you put it together in the Meadowlark Nightgown and be able to put it together like that. So how easy was that? I hope you get a chance to use this technique, and happy sewing, guys.